Hi everyone! This video could save you a lot of money because instead of spending $100 or even $1,000 on a Wi-Fi music streamer, you could use an old phone like this one to do the same thing. An old phone that no longer has phone service but still connects to Wi-Fi works really well for music when connected to a stereo. Better still, if the old phone is Android, you can download an app that'll add Apple Airplay and Chromecast to it and let you select and control the music from a different phone, like the one that you use every day, whether it's Android or iPhone. I've tested this remote casting app with phones up to about 8 years old. It worked great, but results may vary if you go back further. If you already know how to connect a phone to a stereo with a USB cable, you can skip forward to where I show you how to set up and use the app that turns an Android phone into a remote-controlled Wi-Fi music streamer. If your phone has a headphone socket, that's usually the easiest way to connect it to your stereo. If the stereo has a 3.5mm input, use an aux cord like this one. Otherwise, use a 3.5mm to RCA cable and plug the RCA plug end into the stereo, red to red and white to white. If your old phone doesn't have a headphone socket, you can buy a USB to headphone socket adapter. In the description of this video, I'll link to all the adapters and cables that I'm about to show you. There are 3 types of USB connection you might find on a phone, so be sure to get the right headphone adapter for your phone, which may be a micro USB if it's a very old Android phone, a lightning connector for most old iPhones, and thankfully all new phones have USB-C connectors, like these. With one of these adapters plugged into your phone, you can connect a stereo in exactly the same way as a phone that has a headphone socket. Once connected, an old phone like this iPhone can play music on your stereo from any app without Bluetooth. This inexpensive knob sound mini amp connected to these Dayton Audio B40 speakers sounds really good, and since the old phone is already paid for, your total outlay for the whole system is about $100. If you can afford a little more, you can get even better audio quality by connecting the phone USB output directly to a hi-fi DAC or a stereo with a good DAC built in. The USB input on a stereo is sometimes labeled sound card, PC or computer. This IEMA A80 amplifier, for example, has a USB-C input and a very good DAC built in. I love those VU meters on the front display too. The A80 comes with a hefty 48-volt power supply that provides more than enough power to drive these Polk XT15 speakers. Simply connecting the USB-C input on this stereo to the USB-C connector on this Samsung phone results in stunningly lifelike sound quality from what's still a very reasonably priced system. Connecting up is super simple with USB-C at both ends, but if your phone or your stereo have a different type of connector, you're going to need a translation. The way to do this is to use one of these phone adapters that has a USB-A female output. They're available for all 3 types of USB phone connectors. These adapters are sometimes called OTG cables for Android phones, and for Apple phones, they're sometimes called camera adapters. These short adapters often have a second connector for plugging in a charging cable to keep your phone powered while it's connected to your stereo. Cables with USB-A at one end and one of the other types at the other end are easy to find, so get the one that matches your stereo and plug the USB-A end into the phone adapter and the other end into the stereo. Now that we know how to connect and play music from any old phone over a stereo, I'll show you how to control the music from your everyday phone so that the old streamer phone can be left connected, always ready to play. To turn an Android phone into a streamer that you can control from your couch, we need an app that receives Apple Airplay and Chromecast, which you may know as Chromecast. This means you'll be able to stream from any music service app on an iPhone or Android. The app that does all this is called Air Receiver, which you can get from the Google App Store. I'll download and install it on this old Samsung A51 phone. When you open AirReceiver, you'll first be prompted for permissions. It's best but not essential to click Allow on all of them. Then when prompted, change the phone setting that allows AirReceiver to play over other apps. This is important for a streamer phone. If you don't get that prompt, go to the phone settings, select Apps, click on AirReceiver and look for the setting Display over other apps, which may be grouped with Advanced Settings. Click on Display over other apps and move the toggle to the Allow position. Once you've changed that one phone setting, go back to the AirReceiver app and open the settings for the app. Navigate to Device Name. This will be the name that's visible to other devices over the network. You can change it or use the default. I'll change the device name to Old Samsung Phone so I can find it easily. You can then leave the app running or exit, and if prompted, click Run in the background. Now go to your everyday phone and open any app that supports Google Cast or Airplay. I'll use Tidal. Look for the Cast symbol on Android or the Airplay symbol on an iPhone. Touch that symbol and you'll be able to select the phone that you've set up as a streamer. Once you've done that, any track that you select will play on your stereo and not on the phone you're using to control it. The one exception to these instructions is for Spotify, which uses its own Spotify Connect service. If Spotify is your preferred music app, you'll need to be logged into the Spotify app on both phones for the remote streaming to work. When you press the Spotify Connect symbol, which looks like a little speaker, you'll see the device name of the streamer in two different forms. The one that's going to work is the one that doesn't include the word Cast. In this case, I have to click on Samsung A51, which works perfectly. If you liked this video, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you buy anything from the links in the description, it won't cost you any more, but the small commission helps to support the channel and is really appreciated. Thanks for watching, everyone.